Alright, I know this video has been requested for a while now, and I wanted to publish all these videos on the weekend. So if you see like 4 videos go out this weekend, I just want everybody to have some content to watch this weekend rather than push them out gradually all over the week. So this video is the consumable video, which I know a lot of people have been asking about. So I'm going to talk about the consumables I would recommend from a war standpoint, and the consumables I'm going to recommend what I run for my war players. I'm going to show you a quick Google Doc that sort of has everything easily laid out for us. So I'll show you in game as well. But there's 3 Whims that you really only need for PvP. That being Parapsychology, Predator, and Living Armor. So Parapsychology and Predator are 2 Whims that you get from a deviant called the Masonic Pyramid. The Masonic Pyramid comes from participating in a conquest war. So this is a deviant that's limited to the PvP servers, but it can only be used with PvP players anyway, so it's not too big of a deal if you can't get this on PvE servers. But basically, when you put this guy in a case or a display case, he generates these resources here, the Mind Matrix and the Wolf Flame. You take these resources to your supply bench, and you can craft 2 Whims called Predator and Parapsychology. The first Whim, Parapsychology is effectively like High Alert from Call of Duty. You will see an indicator if there's an enemy looking at you outside of your vision. So it's very useful, especially in this game when audio is very lackluster and buggy. So I would highly recommend using this. Now it only is based on 4 directions, left, right, bottom, and top of your screen. But I'm telling you, it will still help you, at least as an indicator to know if someone's looking at you outside of your vision, especially in the current bingo meta. I'm sorry that I created that. But the next one is the Predator Whim. This one is a Whim that is mainly useful for bingo snipers. Ironically, again, that allows you to basically get invisibility when you're crouched for 3 seconds, and you can't do any sudden movements, otherwise you will leave the cloak or invisibility. And also your next hit will deal 50% more weak spot damage, which is kind of disgusting. The other thing about it is that standing up will break it, and you can only do it once every 10 seconds. So I'll give a quick example of this one by popping Predator here. So we'll go like this, and then I'll jump down to the my mannequin. Oh, did not want to grapple that. If you want a base store, by the way, that video has also gone live just about now as well. But anyways, as I was saying, what you need to do is, I think I popped it right. Yep. So I'm simply going to proc all my buffs right now. Weapon swap, stand still, into this, and then I'm going to shoot, and I get extra damage basically. So that's that. Again, you get that cloaking when you are standing still. So if I stand still right now, again, it's only once every 10 seconds. You'll know when that little red symbol next to your health bar is gone that you can proc it again. You can move around in it. You can even dodge in it. But as soon as you stand up, you leave that cloak. But that lasts for 2 hours. So it's a pretty nice Whim to have. Again, Parapsychology is also 2 hours. All Whims, I believe, are 2 hours. The next Whim is Living Armor. Living Armor is really good for survivability. It's effectively like Death Defy if you're familiar with the Hatchet perk in New World. It gives you all your HP back and a little bit of armor, but this is only once every 10 minutes, but it is a lifesaver when it comes in. So I highly recommend picking this one up, and again, it lasts 2 hours. So you get, what, I think 12 procs of this before it runs out. So it's pretty useful, I would say. And again, it's also a pretty easy one to craft. This one comes from the deviant you get from the main story quest. I believe you can farm them for a high level one as well. But again, it comes from the Halve Seed, and it generates a resource that you take to your supply bench and craft with. The next deviant that you want is the Artisan's Touch. Now, this one makes repair kits. They kind of nerfed this one. You used to be able to use this one and repair like drop gear or gear from enemies or friendlies that you could try out and repair. But they since fixed it, and you can only use this on your own gear now. But there's still a very specific purpose with this repair kit. So again, you get the resource, you go to your supply bench, and you make something called I think a hand or something. It's like an all-purpose hand, I think it's called. Yeah, you make something called the all-purpose hand. What the all-purpose hand allows you to do is repair the lowest durability item. Now, there's one very important use for these Whims, or potions, sorry. That is Conquest Wars. So, in wars, you cannot repair your gear. So the only way to repair your gear is with these hands. Well, you can leave the zone and go back to your base and repair, but that's going to be a time sink, right? The best way is to have at least 12 of these consumables on you, so you can do 2 full kit repairs. And yeah, I would highly recommend bringing at least 12 of these into a Conquest War. Again, if you're wondering what Conquest Wars are, also have a video on that coming out today as well. So those are sort of the main PvP deviant consumables. There is one more honorable mention, which is the Space Twister. This one is really good if you want teammates to get to you instantly. It's like a Rubik's Cube deviant looking thing. This one, I know a guaranteed location is all the way at the bottom of the map, just above Sunbury here. Up at the docks, I believe, at the top of this lake, you can get a Rubik's Cube for free. And the Rubik's Cube, again, generates a resource that you can take to your supply bench. And that makes the Rubik's Cube thing where you can teleport your friends to you. The next thing we'll quickly mention is Specialization consumables, which are done by getting the Specialization. So I have the Spectral Cloak. There is 2 more. You can get the Double Jump and the Stardust Regulator. There's one that I don't have that is very OP in PvP specifically, and that is the Stardust Regulator. So I'm going to go to my chest room here again. If you want to see a full in-depth base guide, you can head to that video that just went live. So I think it's this one. Nope. That's annoying. Where did I put it? Did I lose it? Oh no. Wait. Actually, I think I know where I put it. Hang on. I think I know where I put it. I have a fair idea. Yeah, okay, anyway, so this is a Specialization consumable you can make at your synthesis bench. If your guildmate has it, it's quite valuable, they can make them for you. It uses the red antibiotics, these ones here, which are very rare and hard to farm. It uses 10 of them per 1 craft as well. The other resource is just some motherboards and some Stardust stores. It's not too much of a hassle there, but the Stardust Regulator is basically a Giga activator. It is like, what, 70% HP and armor basically. Really OP, and not only that, it's on a separate cooldown of your normal activators, so pretty solid there. And again, I'll highly recommend this in like very intense PvP, Conquest Wars especially. I don't use them in casual PvP, but I do use them in Conquest Wars, just generic PvP. I just use quick activators. In pretty much every other scenario in the game, quick activators are also your best friend. You can get also a Specialization for your bench that gives 10% increased healing and crafting output +1. So if I crafted 1 activator at this bench, I would get 2, and they would be buffed as well. So it's very nice Specialization to have. If your guildmate or warbandmate has it, they can actually place the bench down for you in their base, such as I could place these for people and they could get the benefit in their crafting stations when they want to craft stuff. So that's same with the ammo one. If you guys don't know about this, you can also get one for plus 50% on regular ammo. I believe there's also one for AP ammo as well. Now we'll get on some more basic consumables here, such as food and drink. So there's really again, we'll go back to the reference page here. So there's really only 2 foods I'm going to recommend for PvP. That is either the Safety Sandwich, which is a 20% damage reduction, or you can use more specific foods relative to your build, such as the Assorted Canned Fruit, which is a 25% weak spot increase. I believe there's also one for 25% crit rate. And if you want to find any of these recipes, simply go to the Once Human Genie, and I'll have this in the description. Oh, I went to the wrong place. You simply go to the map, you can hit hides all, and then you can filter to recipes, go rounds, pick up all the recipes. You can even log in and tick them off the ones you found. And one of these here will basically be the one that gives you the food that you need for crit food or any of that good stuff. And then for the drink, again, I'm going to quickly mention, for the food, I highly recommend Safety Sandwich in most situations. If you're playing bingo, we have such a high DPS output, we don't really need to use Assorted Canned Fruit. I would just recommend getting a little bit of damage reduction. But if you're on a more light DPS build, you might want to go for the crit food, or even an HP food at that. Now for the drink, you have 2 options. It's kind of hard to see here, but it's the iced tea, which gives you can't even see it at all, like I don't know why. But all you need to know is that the drink's called iced tea, and what it does is it gives you increased dodge speed and increased movement after dodging, so it's quite good for close-up builds, especially corrosion shotguns. Jaws players will probably like that one as well. The one that I like the most though is the energy drink. Now the energy drink, I'm actually going to use it, they're pretty easy to craft. The energy drink allows us to double jump for 30 minutes. This is OP if you're an attacker in Conquest War, so you can get over extra high walls, etc., or double height, max height foundations, all that good stuff. Last 30 minutes, and it has like next to no stam use. In fact, I don't even think it has any. So you can just double jump at will. And that's why I don't recommend using the Spring Legs Whim, because that uses a lot of stamina. I highly recommend just using double jump, and not only that, unlike the Spring Legs Whim, this one is optional. I can jump like normal if I want to, and optionally double jump if I need to. So it's not forced, and it doesn't use a lot of stam either. So I highly recommend using that Whim, or that energy drink, sorry, not the Whim. Don't use the Whim. Now, again, for the activators, use the green quick activators. They're your best friend just for generic casual use. Now, the next thing, I guess the last thing really, yeah, activators. Adrenaline shots, I forgot to mention those. If you're downed in a down but not out state, you can craft something called an adrenaline shot. These are really easy to make as well, and they're pretty cheap actually. They're very cheap to make. And these just, again, allow you to revive yourself if you get knocked. If you're behind some cover, you can revive yourself and you can get another chance without having to have a teammate revive you. Very OP. Just keep in mind, if you're doing a Silo or a Monolith or Leah Labs, you get a set limit of adrenaline shots in those. And you can't have more than the limit, basically. But for any other case, these are like stack as many as you want kind of thing. And why I kind of think they're annoying in PvP is people have like hundreds of them on them at once. But it is what it is. And again, now we'll get on to really the last thing I recommend. So after the Whims, Parapsychology, Predator, Living Armor, Stardust Regulators, Upper World Protection, Spectral Cloak. Yeah, I forgot to mention one other one here is the Upper World Protection. Upper World Protection is kind of like a, I don't even know how you'll describe it. It's kind of like an iframe, a static freeze iframe thing. I don't like it. I think it's absolutely terrible. But, I mean, you can try it out if you like it. It takes just as long to use as it lasts. But as you can see, you read it here, become invulnerable in space-time for 2 seconds, and you can't take damage, basically. I think it's terrible. I'll use it here. So, and I'm frozen for 2 seconds, and that's that. I don't think it's that good. It really doesn't have any uses at all. But it's an honorable mention, and that comes from a deviant that I think you also get from the main story quest. But again, now for the last thing is for raiders. This is for the guys attacking in Conquest War, or if you're attacking someone that's doing an Echo Stone, you are going to be looking for purple explosives, right? So this is the best thing you can get if you don't do warheads and you're not an RPG guy. Purple C4, purple grenades, and purple Molotovs are the 3 best raiding, I guess, utilities, if you will. Don't need smoke grenades, don't need thermites or any of that kind of stuff. Purple Molotovs, purple C4, and purple grenades. I think that is pretty much everything for the consumable video. So yeah, I think that's that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.